All right, let's do it. It's a good Friday to have a chat about tenants.
Yeah, hold a second. Let me see this. I gotta cut this thing on. Jessica Segal.
Happy Friday.
1 second. Of course, my thing would act funny when I'm.
Gotta remember my headphones, earbuds for next time.
Yeah. Jessica, today. 1 second, almost done. Golly. Thank you, by the way, for taking my call today. I'm sure you are slam packed.
Oh, that's all right. Appreciate it. Now it's always a good time talking to you. We always learn something from each other.
So if you go to, can you pull up the YouTube thing? Well, you know what? I'll read the questions. You can just hang out. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So Jessica, today I just wanted to talk to you about, I know it's January. We're just getting done with Christmas.
Yes.
By the way, we're just getting done with Christmas, right? So everybody's Santa Claused out.
Yep.
Tell me about what's going on in your world, just in the tenants in the tenant world with your rental properties.
So for the most part, I am spoiled. I have great tenants. They pay the day before rent is due, and I give them like gift cards at Christmas time. Gift cards on their birthday. I have a really good rapport with them. If something's broken, I fix it right away. So they're very happy. I had this one particular tenant who I really, I just needed the help, and she certainly had the money. Her paycheck is fantastic. And single mom and really needed the school district. And I was a little nervous, but I decided, you know what, I'm going to give her a shot. And she,
I'm not following you though. Are you saying that a tenant that wouldn't ordinarily? Is this a tenant that you wouldn't ordinarily? So you're kind of going out of your realm of approving tenants. Is that where we're going?
Oh yeah, slightly. There was something about her that put my radar up.
Okay.
But she had a really good job. She had a really good job. She had 2 kids, needed the school district. And I mean, I had a line out the door of people who wanted the apartment, but they were kind of questionable. They all had different issues or needs. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to give her a shot. I'm going to go with my gut and give her an opportunity. And you know what? For 2 months, she was fine. No issues. She was late 2 weeks in, I think it was December. And what I didn't like was she knew she was late and she didn't come to me. I had to go to her. A responsible person would call and say, hey, listen, I know I'm a little bit late. We'll work it out. So I had to follow up with her a few times. And it wasn't until I taped a 3-day notice to pay or get out, basically, that she paid the rent. Right. So
we call that a pay or quit here. What do you call it there?
A 3-day notice. In New York, we call it a 3-day notice. Now, for it to be legal, you have to actually have it served properly, and an affidavit of service has to be done. But so I just wanted to kind of send a message to her that I wasn't messing around. So I just taped the notice to the door. And it was basically like to send a message, if you don't pay, I'm going to start eviction proceedings. And she paid that day. Now, my concern was, you kind of break down communication a little bit when you tape a notice like that to the door,
Yeah.
But I wanted her to understand, you can't push me around. This is my business, and you're not going to take advantage of me. So she got that message. I mean, that was very clear. Come January, now same issue. Rent's not paid. I send her a text message, what's going on? I get some song and dance about how the bank isn't, releasing the money. And so, I basically said, look, that's not my problem. Your rent is due, and you figure out how to get it to me. And then she just stopped responding to my text messages. And so I actually hired a process server to do it the right way in New York. It's $50. and they actually go 3 times a day to try and personally serve her. And that way, if they can't personally serve her, they mail it certified mail with an affidavit of service, so that I can now legally start the eviction process if I needed to. So she gets that notice and basically says, how can I get you the cash? And so I had to make a decision. Either I don't accept it and I just kick her out, or I take it and hope for the best, you know? So I really wasn't sure what to do. It's Christmas, like you said, it's winter. So I went and I met with her face to face, and I took the cash and I said, listen, this is not acceptable. You need to get your act together. I'm not coming here 2 weeks into the month, every month, to get cash from you. You're a professional. Figure it out. Electronic transfer. All of my tenants do it. Just pay your bills, kind of thing. And I basically said, you know, don't take it personally. I used a process server because I want you to understand you're going to be evicted. And that's how a business is run. So, you know, she and I shook hands. You know, it was great. You know, we had a good face-to-face meeting. She understands where I'm coming from.
When
She
was this
said,
one?
so that was like a week and a half ago.
So the rent is
So
due. Go ahead.
rent is due on the 1st. Okay. On the 4th, I hear nothing from her. On the 5th, I serve the late notice, the 50-day penalty for late notice. No response. So that's when I just had the process server serve her the 3-day notice to quit, the day, you know, pay or quit. And, you know, in New York, there's only certain days of the month you can file an eviction in court.
Wow.
So you have to be there's a very short window. It's basically a minimum of 5 days before the court date, no more
I'm listening.
than about 2 weeks after the court date. So, and if you miss that window, you have to wait till the next month.
Oh my
So
Lord.
so I was basically lining everything up to start the eviction if she didn't pay. So she paid and I let it go. But my feeling is on February 1st, if there's no rent on time, I'm not even going to do, you know, I don't even want the late fee. I'm just going to start the eviction process. And that's it. I want her out. I can't do this dance every month. I don't have time. You know, I work full time and everybody else is responsible and pays their bills. I'm not going to babysit her.
I'm so
It is
glad you said
stressful,
that.
but I feel like I sent a message that I'm not going to be pushed around. But the reality is though, if you do have to go through an eviction, it's brutal on landlords. New York especially is very tenant friendly. I know people who it's taken them months, 6 months to get somebody out.
Wow.
You know, the court will often give believe every sob story a tenant has. So you have to really be on your game and know the rules.
I hear people saying tenant friendly. Is it because of the weather or is it because of?
No, it means the law, meaning that if somebody comes into court and tries to fight eviction, even though they haven't paid you rent, the judge will allow them to stay and give them time to pay, make the landlord accept partial payments, you know, basically not grant the eviction, give the tenant the opportunity to come up with money, go into a payment plan.
You've got to be
They
joking.
don't like to kick people out of their apartments or homes.
You're blowing my mind right now, Jessica. Wow.
Mhm. Yeah. I know a landlord who's been involved in trying to evict her tenant for like 9 months. Court keeps granting adjournment requests. One was for the snow, one was for, you know, I'm sick with the flu, and they haven't paid rent in 9 months. Court doesn't care.
Oh my
Now,
Lord.
the landlord will ultimately win and get the confession of judgment, you know, the warrant of eviction or whatever. But if somebody has no money, how are you going to get that from them? You know, you're just going to have a judgment against them. Maybe you garnish their wages, but
I
it's
was wasting time.
frustrating.
Well, my
So I
problem is
always do,
go.
yeah, I mean, I always say do your homework. when you rent to somebody, because one bad tenant can kill your whole business.
Yeah, you might not even be in business in 9 months as your mortgage payment is 2,000 a month
Right.
times 8
Right.
months.
Well, that's what I said to her. I said, look, if you don't pay your rent, you're not just affecting you or me. There's a tenant upstairs who's going to have no heat. If I have no heat, if I don't have your rent money to pay the heat, I said, and if I can't pay my mortgage, there's not going to be a house here. But people don't think like that.
No, they don't. They don't. Unbelievable. I'm just wow. So how about I guess we'll get to contract stuff later. Today I just wanted to just talk to you about your situations. How about paying? I know what we've done in the past. I'm like, I just show up to the door like, look, here's a check. I need it just to go.
Yes, I've done that. I've done that, and it worked out great. The guy was a real gentleman. He just, it wasn't even about rent. His adult children were just totally taking advantage of him, staying there, having parties. I mean, he just couldn't seem to control them. And there was just one violation after another. It wasn't him per se. And I basically said, look, I will let you out of your lease, give you your full deposit back, just go. And he cleaned the place spotless, and went on his way. Asked me to just give a good referral if the new landlord called. The landlord didn't call me, but I would have said he was a good guy. And I got him out, and I got a great tenant in there afterwards with no issues.
Yeah, it's funny how the universe gives you something better, but you have to let go of the bad
Yeah,
thing first.
right. I mean, I believe that in terms of myself too. I feel like if you're a charitable person, the universe gives it back to you. If you have a scarce mindset and you're always like terrified that you're not going to have money, then you're not going to have abundance. If you're generous, then the universe gives it back to you. This guy needed that deposit back to go to another home. I didn't need that money. He needed that money. Could I
Just
have
give it.
kept it? Yes. I gave him it all back and said, God bless you, and move on, And, I do that with everything, in terms of a tip, you see some college kid waiting on your table. Look, can I use the $5? Absolutely. But you know what? She really could use the $5.
You need more than me.
Right. So you're just sort of, I think when you have that giving mindset, it's good karma. I don't know. I just live by that basic principle.
I got a bunch of questions coming in. They want to know if you are a real attorney. Good God. I mean, I would.
That's a fair question. I'm licensed in the state of New York since 2000. And I actually don't do real estate closings per se. I'm more of a real estate investor, and I consult landlords on liability claims, leases, tenant disputes, stuff like that.
Are you still now? Did you want to touch real fast about your new venture in life or your new thing going on? Did you want to touch it real briefly for our viewers?
Sure. You know what? I really believe in living your best life. And I recently quit my law firm job to open my own law practice. I took the leap, and I've never been happier. And, you eat what you kill is the expression, right? So I have to hustle, but I love the people that I work with. My business so far is completely based on referrals, just people I have a good rapport with. And I do basically estate planning and business formation. Like in New York, it's good to put your property in an LLC. So I do that, set up LLCs for people. I set up estate planning for them. And then I also help landlords with any tenant issues they have or things like that.
So, class, if you are just joining us, I'm hanging out with attorney Jessica Segal. We have decided we're going to do a weekly. Hopefully, I can. I don't know. Y'all don't understand how I've had to have Jessica.
I love it. I love it. I'm down. Every week we'll do a little segment. It's great.
I had you in the head. Y'all don't know how much I had to get Jessica in the headline to do this. I've been begging her. She is an editor on our newsletter for my inner circle that is watching. Your newsletter articles are off the chain.
Thank you. I got to get one of those desktop things to record. I'm trying to work my laptop and where to look and all that, but I'll get it down.
The whole time, all of it, you are a walking dictionary with the content that you have. And I heard you say, so class, we're going to be doing case studies every week. I don't know when it'll be, whenever Jessica has the time, but I heard you say LLC. We're going to have to eventually talk about trust in New York, not today.
Yes. Yep.
Trust.
Let's talk about trusts, LLCs, basic estate planning, because now you're building up this real estate empire. Let's make sure you get to keep it and not the government, you know, those kind of things.
Oh man, you talking my language. This is going to be so cool, class. And you are here at the very ground zero of this new venture that I are doing.
Definitely.
All right. You got any more time or you gone?
I say do you have a quick question? Any questions from the audience before we hang up? Anybody?
We got 20 already, Jessica. I mean, I could go.
Pick one. Pick one.
Good gracious. Eric wants to know, how does he get in contact with you? He's in New Jersey. How does he get in contact? What's your email, Jessica? I'll type it in the chat box.
Sure. Send it to JME Properties LLC at gmail.com.
With an S? JME Properties. Jess, you there? Did I lose you?
Sorry, you're breaking up. Can you see? So JME Properties LLC at gmail.com.
Okay.
You have my email, right?
Yeah, JME Properties at Gmail. I could have just typed in yes. That wasn't a question though. Yeah, so many comments. Yes, I don't even know. Ultimate Bargain just got off the phone. What in the world? Oh yeah, Brittany wants to know, do you have a consultation fee? Do you charge for consultations, Jessica?
Yes, I do, but you know what? It's really dependent on what your needs are. So it's very specific because everybody has different issues. Sometimes if it's just a quick question, I'm happy to answer it. If it's more involved, then yeah, we can schedule a consultation. So what I'll do is, you have my email. How about I give them my office phone number? If somebody wants to call me, we can always schedule that. You can reach me at 845-493-1002.
845-493.
1002.
Gotcha.
So they can email me or they can call my office number and we can figure out what the needs are. And yes, so I could do a simple consultation on the phone. But so what I'll do is, if it's just quick questions, yeah, it could be done that way. If it's more involved, then I just wrap up whatever maybe document or legal issue they have and the phone call into it all in one. I try and make it as cost effective for each person. I try and help as many people as I can. So, you know, I don't like to just give a one size fits all price, because everybody's different.
That's true. Okay. All right, Jess.
It's been great. Have a great weekend.
Yeah.
And I look forward to next week. We'll catch up again next week.
All right, class.
And if anybody, I guess, has any questions, always email me.
Oh, real estate question? Yes. And that's right. If you got a question for Jessica, how can we contact?
So if you have questions, you can email me and then we can do it on the next video. That
is right. That's right. That'd be some good content to put out.
Right.
All right. Don't go anywhere, Jess. I'm getting ready to hang the internet up.
Okay.
Class, subscribe, smash the like button.